today. From Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Here come the Bengals, and CD, of course, it's Joe Burrow out of LSU at quarterback.
And I'll bet right now there's just one thought in his mind.
Win the game, yeah.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. He played pretty well. I mean, he didn't turn over the ball in terms of interceptions, right?
2 touchdown passes last week.
2 touchdown passes, but when your team doesn't win, that's just hollow. And the best quarterbacks don't care about anything but whether or not their team won.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Play action. It's Burrow. His throw incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. He usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
Here's 2nd and 10. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Eric Kendricks providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. The Bengals bring out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 33. A nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Number 8, Lamar Jackson, trotting onto the field at quarterback, ready to lead this Ravens offense. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
A collegiate star here in the Buckeye State, it's J.K. Dobbins. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. We take a look at his numbers on the ground last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power, we saw finesse, we saw speed, and what I love the most, he finished each and every run. I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
And they run the option here on 1st and 10. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. To throw is Jackson. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And the tackle made at the 13. He is well short of the first. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-0. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game, but I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape, because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. Fighting his way through contact. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. And an update from the other NFL stadium in Ohio. That's up in Cleveland.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here 1st and 10.
Just shy of midfield at the 48.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From midfield now, Burrow.
This goes out wide for Mixon.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now it's Burrow. Working the middle here. That's complete to Everett, the tight end. And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. And he stopped immediately there.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Burrow looking to pass. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Boyd. And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Burrow will throw. To Mixon on the check down. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. To the air again, Burrow. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 15-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That is caught inside the 5. And the Bengals are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited by what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw.
And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Ben Mason, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point put through by Succop. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. After the touchdown, it's Dawson on to kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's 2nd and a yard. Off the play fake to Dobbins. Here's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens on just 2 plays have taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And Burrow going to throw again.
And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete.
That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic, and people want to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Seconds kick is good. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission.
They'll start out here with the option left. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop them here on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Jackson on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. Got a man in It's caught at the 6-yard line. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown as the first half is winding down. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they will not really have time to do much of anything. 15 seconds, all that remains before halftime. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So, all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. Second half starts with a run by Dobbins. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Second down and 3. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Another run here with Dobbins. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
This will be caught by Brown. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. J.K. Dobbins. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Ravens take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half.
And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Burrow. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins. And he'll have the 1st down as he's up to about the 18.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Here's a give to Dobbins.
And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He'll get this one to Kupp, complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now it's Jackson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six from Bengals TD.
We constantly talk about defenders having great vision and being able to see plays unfold and make their own plays. But you also have to have good feel as well because you can't see everything out there. See the play unfold, feel what's going on, and then get to the right spot and make your own play. And in this case, it turned out to be a highlight one.
Smallwood on the return. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And now this fourth quarter becoming very interesting. That pick six makes this a one-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big pickup there on the run. What a run there. I mean, you've got speed, elusiveness, escapability all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands. And guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 63 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw here hauled in by Cup. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. They go play action with Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them. And I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man is Chase, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
They'll find Everett there, complete. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. And that one was is relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap.
And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. A.J. Epinesa. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to get... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. They run for it with Mixon. And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26.
That was 4th and what we would call long in that situation, wasn't it? That wasn't 4th and inches, was it?
No, I mean, you get in those situations 4th and 3, 4th and 4. That's a lot to, what would you say, a lot of pizza left in that box.
It certainly is. Not everyone dove in on that one. In today's NFL, this is a passing down, all right? This is not a running down. That takes a lot of guts to call that play and even better execution.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 24, Burrow. And a quick throw here that's complete. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Burrow. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And Burrow's saying, let's go, let's go. Burrow. Touchdown, Bengals. That's caught. T. Higgins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Smallwood on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
Now the Bengals going to use the 1st of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Dobbins running out of the gun. Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. Open man is Duvernay. And he's got this down to the 35. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively, they rally quickly after the broken tackle. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college and happen in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So here comes Justin Tucker in a big spot. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.